What's up YouTube? Welcome to New Parenting Training. So today I got a couple of stuff here I want to unbox and put onto my office desk. So if you have been following our channel, you will know that I upgraded my desk. I upgraded my gears, the monitors, the computer and whatnot, but the cable is running all over the place. So I need something that can help me with cable management. Now the monitors I got are the Asus ProArt. Now the stand that they come with is really fantastic. Technically, if you have a big desk or wide desk, you do not need to have or need a monitor stand. Because the new desk I got is narrower, the monitor stand is actually off on the edge of the table. So that kind of got me a little bit worried. And besides, because the table is much narrower, the monitor is pretty much in my face. So I feel like the distance, I need to have some kind of space in between the monitor and my eyes. So I got this ErGear. It got some funny names. ErGear monitor stand. So this is kind of funny. So some of the reason why I picked this monitor stand, one is that it's very affordable, and also that it has a lot of reviews on Amazon. So I figured, hey, if it's cheap enough, let me give it a try and see how it works. So anyway, let me unbox this. And also this thing I got is dedicated for cable management. It comes in 141 pieces of stuff in here. So I'll unbox this second. So let me do this real quick. There we go. Alright, so we have instruction how to put this thing on. I think this is the tabs and screws and whatnot. This is for the desk where you can hold the monitor stand in place. It's one of the bigger bracket. Not quite sure how I'm going to use it, but we'll find out. There's one of the tube. And here is the arm thing. You put this on top of here and then it can go in and out. This is the adapter that goes on the back of your monitor. So this are all the stuff that come with it. Alright, so now let's talk about this, the cable management. 141 pieces. Wow. Hopefully I don't have to use it all. I can save it for some other stuff. But what I was really looking forward to are the sleeves. So this where I can put a lot of cables in. You can see, like, you can roll this out and put your cables in there, and then it become a tube shape. So it kind of put all the cables in place. So that's something I really need. The cables on the back, they are running all over the place. Now, there are some, they are not zip ties, but yeah, I'm gonna open it later, but this is not zip tie, but more Velcro, so it can hold more cable and set them in place as well. Now, I think this would help to put like 3 or 4 cables in, and then use this to tie more of them together. So they provide you with zip ties. I think majority of the pieces are from the zip tie. And we have double-sided tapes on clips. This will come in handy with all the USB cable I have running in the front. So this will hold them in place. And it's adjustable, so you can kind of place however you want, more toward you or under the desk. I could try some that technique as well. And oh, this is cool. I think this is better than USB holder. Okay, so also a double-sided tape. You tape it down to the desk, and you just put the cable in between here. So they got opening, so you can put multiple cables here, and yeah, it will hold them in place, so you don't have to like reach out every time you want to connect to your phone, to your hard drive, so to speak. So yeah. All right, so that's a lot of stuff. Anyway, so let me go set everything up and see how this will turn out. Okay, I'm gonna put the monitor onto the monitor stand. So I'll show you real quick what the process are. FYI, you do need a Phillips head screwdriver. They do provide you with the Allen key, so you don't need to have Allen key if you don't have one. But everyone should have a Phillips head screwdriver at home, right? So anyway, first thing you want to do is set up the base. So this will be the base for go onto your desk. And let's see. Oh, some of the things I want to mention that for all the parts, they do mention like M/A, M/B, M/C. And here is A, B, C, D, E, F. So just make sure that you actually follow the instruction, like which part to take out. As it can be confusing when there's M/A when they're just referring to part A. Part A is actually this screw right here. M/A is a different type of screw. So that's just something you need to be careful of. All right. This is the tube for the monitor stand, and here's the bracket. Now make sure that this goes on first, like so. You do need 3 screws from B, and this one requires Allen key. Alright, so this part is finished, and now you need to connect with this. Now, here is the cushion that go underneath the desk, and it will be something like this. Make sure that when you set it up, the bracket goes inside the bigger bracket. Like for some people, there might not be any gap on the back where you can actually hook this thing onto your desk. Now you could, however, drill a hole through your desk and have this thing go, instead of having this bracket here, you go directly into the column tube here. So no bracket at all on the back. So that way your desk can sit flush to the wall, or if you don't have the space, you could just do that, and then the arm was just sticking out like as if part of the desk rather than something that's put under. For this bracket, for the lower portion of the arm, you do need the screws from letter A. And to make sure that this screw is tightened up tight, just use the other Allen key that's provided to tighten this further. Now it's suggested there's 2 portions of how you can set up the lower portion of the bracket. If your desk is not that big, then you probably have to set up on the top portion of where the holes are. Now for my desk, it's kind of thick, so I have to set it on the bottom and screw this up so that way it will hold on to the desk. Okay, so the next part is a little bit tricky. This is where we're gonna put the arms onto the column. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind of, so there are some orientation. Make sure the arm bracket to hold the monitor is facing outward, whereas this part where the screw is going to is facing back. So there is an orientation where you want this to be. And they also provide you with a cable management tool. Now also the part that's sticking out has to facing the back. Now what I mean by back is where you're gonna put your bracket. So that's just something that you wanna keep in mind of, the orientation of the arm, how you're gonna go in. Now, first thing you wanna put in is the cable management bracket. You don't need to. They do provide you with one that goes into the column. So I would strongly suggest you to put one in there. And then next, you're gonna put in the arm. They do provide you with one single screw here. It wasn't in the bag when I took it out, so just keep that in mind. And there's one way of putting the screws in. And the way that you're gonna tighten this is with the large Allen key. Okay, so now it's toward the back where you need to put the plate on to your monitor. Obviously, you need to take out your monitor, right? But for my monitor, they do have 4 screws on the back where I can set the plates on. So there is an orientation of the plate, how you want it to put it. Make sure that you see this little tab here. This little tab here. This thing has to face upward. So just keep that in mind. They do provide you with 4 holes. Well, 8 different ones here. So mine is toward the outer edge of the 4 that I need to use. Now my monitor already provided me with the screw, so I'm going to use that. Otherwise, you need to test out which screw you need to use. Now you don't want to screw in too far that it will damage the monitor, nor you don't want a screw that's too short. It won't really hold on to the monitor itself either. The instructions suggest that you need to have at least 3 to 5 turns when you screw in the screws in order to make sure that the screw is on to the monitor safely. They do provide you with washers, so you do need to put the washers in along with the screw. My monitor, where I put the plate, is flat, not to all the monitors out there. Some monitors are curved. So in that case, you do need to use the MF here, this little spacer. You do need that spacer to make the bracket flush to the monitor. So if your monitor is flat on the back where the plate is, you don't need to have that spacer. So just keep that in mind. That is very important. Okay, so the plate is onto the monitor now, and I'm gonna do, because I have 2 monitors, I'm going to do the other one as well, and then I'm going to show you how to put it onto the monitor arm. So I anchored the monitor stand here on the back of the table. So just make sure that you have your Allen key ready to kind of loosen up, tighten up, and then adjust the arm as you see fit. And same thing with the arm here. This is where the monitor is going to. You also use the Allen key to do the adjustment. Okay, so now here is the monitor. Now, as I mentioned earlier, just make sure that when you are setting this up, you don't mess up the orientation of things. So the bracket that holds the monitor has to be facing you, like facing to the front of the desk. What you do now is slide this mount onto this bracket here, like so. And then you will need C and D to screw this in place. Now the way that you screw this in is you put the cap on first, like so, and then you put in the little tiny screw on the top. And you're gonna screw it down with the Phillips head, like so. So okay, now this way, this will not come out, and you can still adjust this, by the way. So just as I mentioned earlier, this bracket here is, you can rotate up and down. So you can use the Allen key to do adjustment, and when it's tight enough, then you can kind of use your hand to do adjustment after that. And also this bracket here, you can extend it out, do this, and even swirl. But then I'm too close to the bottom of the table here. But let's see, rotate it out. Yeah, as you can see, I can swirl. So this mount is really good in the sense that if your monitor stand that came with it, it doesn't have any of this feature, it cannot tilt, it cannot pivot, cannot swirl, then this arm is what you need. So now what I need to do is just set up the other monitor and show you the final product. All right, so everything is now finished and much cleaner look than it was before. And earlier I mentioned that I'm gonna show you the video after I put on the monitor, but then I started working on the cables. So I was thinking, you know what, let me just finish everything before I show you the final product. Now this control arm does come with a bunch of cable brackets on top. So instead of using the center cable holder, I end up using just the cable holders on the arms themselves. Because, well, the center one, the cable goes in, but it goes down. And since my desktop is on the corner, so I might as well just run the cable through. So this is a much cleaner look. If you look from this angle, you are not gonna see any cables. Right, well, I mean, you see some shadows, but yeah, you're not gonna see much anything else. So, okay, continue on. So one of the things I forgot to mention is that we got something from, oops, just fell. This thing called Sleek Socket. So essentially what it does is it only has one socket, like right here. One goes into the wall and then it covers the whole thing, and it looks pretty nice, and it's very flush to the wall, so it doesn't intrude out as much as the regular plugs. And then we tie up the cable. So they do provide you with a bunch of double-sided tape and brackets and stuff, so you could just tape it to the wall. Oh, let me stick it back in a little bit, yeah. And for my battery and surge protector, and that's the cable that goes up here and goes over here. So anyway, so this is the current setup. A lot of cables being plugged in. So we use a bunch of brackets from the cable management toolkit that I bought, and sticking onto the desktop and then routed to the front. Now, a lot of cables, as you can see, we use the sleeve to put in there. Now, according to the manufacturer, this sleeve is pretty cool. If you want it to be even tighter, like right now, I'm just like the original setting. Like I put the cables in and it's wrapped around by itself. But if you want it tighter, then you can use a cigarette lighter to heat up the surface, and it will shrink. It will make this holding even tighter than it currently is. So anyways, yeah, it's really helpful in terms of getting your cable managed. So as here, like we could cut through and make this even more flush, but this will do. So yeah, there's some of the cables running through. Yeah, it's much cleaner than how it used to look. And for the laptop, we run the cable underneath, while the charging thing is on this side. We tape it onto the desktop. But the cable itself, let me show you what's going on under here. So we also use a bunch of the brackets that the cable management kit provided. So running through here, I mean, it's still kind of messy, but since it's on the bottom, not gonna see all that much, so we're okay with it. Now the cable management kit toolkit provided with like cable holder. It has double-sided tape, so we tape it here, and then like some of the cable that I need to use is connected to the desktop. I have it here, so then if I need to charge anything, I just plug it in here. I have space here to, my phone, my wife's phone, and then some other cable that I need to connect to with other digital product. This is like the old school USB. Well, not really that old, but definitely not the USB-C cable. But anyway, so yeah, so right now this desk is much cleaner than what it used to be, and I really like this setup a lot, especially the control arm. Yeah, it's very cheap compared to others, and it's hold up pretty sturdy in terms of the amount of weight that it can support, because this monitor I believe it's like 15, 17 pounds per monitor. So yeah, they are not light by any means. So anyway, this is the current setup. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Until next time, bye.